In this unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Marvel's The Avengers Tony Stark Mark VII suit-up version from Hot Toys. Let's go. And here it is, the box art here. I'm just going to tell you, this is some of the best box art that I've seen this year. I love this box art right here. And I had to get gloved up. Got to give you all the thumbs up because I'm ready to go. And speaking of thumbs up, hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. But here's the thing. I want to glove this up. I got this moving at a little bit different speeds. We're going all kinds of different speeds here. Sometimes full speed, sometimes half speed, sometimes 1.5 speed. So we're going to go quick here because I want to make sure y'all get to what y'all want to get to. But you can kind of see this box art here again. I love going over the box art because this is part of the presentation. This is part of the unboxing experience. And you kind of see this really cool snapshot here. You can kind of see all the different looks here of the box, the side of the box here, the logos. And then I really like this back of the box with the Stark Tower. And then Jarvis, anytime now, deploy. That was my impression. I hope it worked. But anyway, this is really cool. We're going to take this front sleeve off. Take a look what's under the hood, so to speak. And if we can get this thing off, man, let's see if we can do it at all. I mean, this is kind of getting stuck here. But now it's off, and now we can kind of take a look at what's in this open box here. So you can kind of see all this. The display of this is really good. And I'm just really excited to see this, man. I'm excited to kind of put this together to kind of create that look that we saw in the beginning photo of this review. And you can kind of see all the different parts, man. If you're an Iron Man person, if you're somebody who really loves to part stuff out and kind of build like from the ground up type of a suit or whatever, I think this is going to be for you because this is a lot of different parts, a lot of different pieces, multiple display options here. We're going to go for that image that I showed you at the beginning, and we're just going to kind of look at this and kind of show what is in the box here. So you can kind of see the Tony Stark figure over to the right with the different hand sculpts. You can kind of see here this this part with the outer armor here that we're probably going to attach to the outer shell body. And you kind of see, man, the colors just really pop. Again, I love the Mark VI and the Mark VII suits. The Avengers, my all-time favorite MCU movie, so I'm very ecstatic to be able to put this into the collection. But first, we got to build it. We got to get there. And you can kind of see all these different versions of the, the leg gauntlets, the suit itself, the back of the suit. It's really interesting. This is the first time I've seen it to where it's built like this. So I'm very interested to see. Got the batteries here. And we got our trusty instructions, which honestly I'm going to have to be following because I have no idea how I'm going to put this together. But it looks like there's some pretty easy step-by-step instructions here that you can follow to kind of get the look you want. Again, you can either get the look that I'm going to go for, which is him flying through the sky, that one right there, or you can go to the one where he's just kind of standing and he's got the Mark VII suit kind of encompassing around him. So these instructions are really going to come in handy. Thanks, Hot Toys. But here we go. So we're going to get to the first thing of this figure, which I think everybody's the most interested in, and that is that Tony Stark just figure, the standalone figure here. We're going to take a look at the head sculpt. I can already tell you a lot of people are going to be upset that there is not an accurate shirt. I'm a little upset about that as well, but it wasn't a make or break for me. I still think in the display, when I get him displayed and where I want him to look, he's going to look cool. And this head sculpt's really good. I hope it comes across on screen, but this head sculpt is really good. Is it the best Tony Stark head sculpt we've gotten so far? I'm not sure. That Mark III 2.0 I think is really strong. But this one looks really good. I really like this a lot. You can kind of see the hair sculpt is really good. I really kind of like the expression, oddly enough, because it kind of fits with that scene from the movie. So I really kind of like that. We're going to kind of show you the different angles of the head sculpt and the hair sculpt. I think is really strong. It's not absolutely perfect. Some of it looks a little older than he was in the movie in terms of like the hair and also the aging around the eyes. But overall, I'm really happy with the sculpt. I actually think it's a really great sculpt. And I'm going to move those eyes around a little bit, maybe get that more of that Robert Downey Jr. likeness better. Kind of see the body here. Again, pretty lightweight figure. Again, I'm sure that is because we don't want to weigh it down when we do that display. A ton of articulation. I mean, this is very easy to kind of move around. You can already tell, like, when I move these legs, just really good, easy articulation. Everything seems a bit smaller in scale, which makes sense. I mean, that if you wanted this just for this figure, that's going to irritate you a little bit. Even though Robert Downey Jr. is a smaller guy, like this just seems like a smaller figure and more lightweight figure And I can only imagine that that is because they want you to be able to flex it around and move it around so you can fit in that display. And here we go. We got the one to take the head sculpt off to kind of see that mechanic. Got the plastic thing here that will connect. Very easy to get the head sculpt on and off and to get access to those rolling eyeballs. And here's the sculpt without anything else going on. And I just really like it. I think it's really good. The only thing that I would say is sometimes the eyes seem a little off. And that's just going to be on me to kind of put the eye placement where it needs to be. I personally really like this sculpt. I think it's really strong. Again, I keep going back and forth if I prefer this one or that Mark III 2.0. I still think I would give the edge to that Mark III 2.0, but this is a great Tony Stark head sculpt in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think the facial hair is really good. The paint apps, the sculpted hair looks really nice. And again, to get this version of the character from that iconic scene with Loki in the Avengers, I'm just very excited to have this, man. I mean, there's parts of me that just wanted to have the Tony Stark out, but man, I want to recreate that sequence so bad that we saw in that photo at the beginning, and we're going to try to get there. So, and you can kind of see, once you start moving the rolling eyeballs a little bit, I do feel like you get more of that lightness, you get more of that scene-specific stuff. And again, if you're like me, I got bigger hands, so it's kind of tough for me to get in there. And that's where that rolling eyeball functional tool will come into play. But overall, it's still pretty easy. I just wanted to kind of show you some different rolling eyeball function here. And I'm still kind of trying to find that perfect look for him. But I do think once I kind of get these eyes to where they need to be, that Robert Downey Jr. likeness is really going to come across even better than it already has. So again, let me know what you think of the head sculpt in the comments below. Here we go. We got the hexagonal base with the Avengers logo, with the arc reactor in the middle, with Tony Stark on the front. I really like that a lot. We got these two hand sculpts here. Again, very simple, just one sets of hands, but then we get a ton of different Iron Man parts. Again, here's some of the outer parts that are going to be clicked onto the back, it looks like, based on what I saw in the instructions. Again, the paint applications are beautiful. Everything looks great. If you unbox an Iron Man figure, you know what you're going to get with how well this is engineered and how great this looks. And hopefully the colors are really popping on the screen as well, because this is really cool. And again, I have the Iron Man Mark III. That was a different opening experience because you actually pulled out a full suit. This one, you're getting parts of a suit. So you're not going to get that same unboxing experience as you would when you first take out that full Iron Man figure. You know, you feel that weight. But this is really lightweight. This still feels really cool, and it's just really exciting if you're like me and want to recreate that scene from the Avengers. And you can kind of see this chest piece here. Again, this one is really nice. That just looks beautiful. Again, multiple options you can do with this. We're going to be clicking some of this off so that way we can use it for what the display we want, but some people might want the display where he's standing there and the suit is encompassing him. Again, multiple options for display here. And again, if you're somebody who wants to part out different stuff or use different parts for different things, this is kind of a cool suit for you. It's almost like a build in a way, which is exciting. Almost has like a Lego feel in terms of how we're going to like build it. You know what I mean? Like we're getting instructions. We're going to kind of click some pieces together. We don't know how it's all going to work. But you can just see how beautiful this stuff is, man. I'm just really impressed with, again, just how great the paint applications look on this suit. You get a little bit of that weathering, a little bit of that battle damage there. And I'm just a huge fan of every single part of this, and I'm not really sure which ones we're going to be using yet for the display we're going for today, but we can just take a look at all of them nonetheless. We get some of these different ones you can put on the arms and the legs here, the shoulders. I believe this one's got a magnet at the end of it. You can kind of see at the top of my hand there. There's an opening for the hand, and then the other one is a magnet. And then we can kind of see the two little, the wrist. I call them the wrist things because I don't know what they call the sensors. And they look really good. They do a good job of covering up that wrist peg for the most part. And again, you can have these on when you're just having the figure like this, when it's just displayed. I wanted to definitely show off Tony Stark, just in case you're someone who wants to have Tony Stark in your display from that scene with Loki. I wanted you to kind of see how it looks. Again, I went for like a Captain America salute here, or like a thinking pose, and I don't know if I pulled it off. I probably didn't, but hey, we're trying out here. We're trying to do some different looks for you guys. Hopefully it's looking well. And now I'm really starting to get the Tony Stark sculpt, just for me personally. I don't know about you guys in the comments below. I know that can be subjective, but the more I'm getting these eyes moved to where I want to, I really like the way this is coming across. Again, some of the issues I'm having with it are, again, the shoulders. And again, I'm just criticizing this for if you just wanted this Tony Stark figure. If you're somebody who just wanted this figure, you're going to have a few issues with the way the body feels and the way the shoulders look across, but the head sculpt and the movement and the articulation is great. So if you really wanted to pose this figure up, there's tons of ways to do that. And I just really love the way the head sculpt looks, man. The more I'm getting different angles of this, and I wanted to show this in real time just so you can kind of see like the different movements you can get with the head sculpt. You can get the different articulation points. But you can kind of see it with the body, how the shoulders jut out a little bit. And again, that's stuff that I can mess with and make it look better. But I just wanted to kind of show this because I know a lot of you who are thinking about picking this up are probably interested in this standalone figure. And I still think it's good. It's solid. But just go in knowing that it's going to be lighter. It's going to be a little bit less big. It's going to be a little smaller, a little more lightweight, just so we can make sure there's not enough weight, I guess, on that, you know, that stand where you're going to have him floating in the air. So I just wanted to show this off. Again, it still looks really damn good. I really think this looks good personally. I don't think it's perfect, but if you're just going for this standalone part, I still think you'll be overall pretty happy with it. And you can kind of see here, I wanted to show the process. So I've already started clicking in some of the pieces here. You can kind of see this clicking mechanic. You got to move this. Be very careful with this. I'm always nervous to break these pieces off because once you break those little connectors off, like you're not going to be able to put it on there. So just be aware of that. There's a real good clicking mechanic. It's for the most part kind of easy. You can kind of see those openings there. You're going to be doing a lot of clicking into that. So just be aware of that. Don't force anything. I really was starting to get impatient and started trying to force stuff, but try not to break that stuff. Overall, it was a pretty simple experience. There was a few parts that were very difficult to push into those parts without, you know, knocking off one of the other parts that I put in previously. So just be aware of that. Just be patient with it, and you'll have a good time with it. But you know, I just want to make sure nobody breaks that. And you can kind of see how you can kind of put these different pieces together. I've added a few more pieces. I've added this, you know, these things to the side here. And I just wanted to kind of show the progress as we are going here. Added a little bit extra lighting, hopefully to show that off a little bit more. And here we go. I finally was able to get it. Again, if you see the wrist pegs, that magnet I showed you earlier actually does magnetize up. So a lot of this is magnet stuff. Overall, it was a very easy put together experience. It was a little time consuming, but once I started figuring out the mechanics of it, it wasn't too bad. But I was nervous the whole time about breaking off a little piece here. But here we go. Here's Tony Stark, Mark VII suit up version, man. I am ecstatic about this piece just because this is my favorite MCU movie. I love this scene in the movie, and I really wanted this for the scene-specific version of it. And I wanted to kind of just show you in real time, like kind of moving this around so you can kind of see the different angles. So forgive me for the camera work, but I'm really just trying to get it all on screen and also kind of show you in real time what it's all about. I wanted to kind of move this around a little bit so you can see the different angles of it. And overall, I'm really happy with it. I think this was one that when you get it in hand and you really want to put this in your shelf, I already have it displayed. Check out my Instagram if you want to see photos of this in my display case. It really does pop. It really does look good. I think it's a great centerpiece. Even if you have that Mark VI with gantry, I still think this is something to look into just because it's a whole different version. I really like this scene-specific version of the character and having a scene-specific scene from the movie like this. So again, I'm personally loving this figure. I think it came out really good. Is it perfect? No, the Tony Stark figure isn't perfect, but it's still really good. But I think if you want to go for this look, and we're only looking at this look today, there's also a couple other looks you can go with it. But if you really like me and you want to get this type of look in your display, I think this is the best option for you so far. So again, I think this is a great release. I don't think it's perfect, but I am very happy with it. And I would probably give it an overall a 9 out of 10. And the only thing that could have got it to a 10 is if that Tony Stark figure was a little bit better, but I do understand. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Thank you so much for checking out this unboxing and review. And as always, I'll see you next time.